Let's go through the disclosure statement for narcotics, DWI, DUI, and or other convictions. Who should submit this form? What it comes down to is you will need this form if you answer yes to any of the questions in section 3 of the application. I'm going to bounce to that application really quick. Click up here in my tab. Here is section 3, safety and suitability. See these questions labeled A, B, C, D, E, F? If you answer yes to any of these, the most common one we get is a DUI. Where's that one? Yeah, have you ever been convicted of a traffic infraction arising in connection with fatal car accident, reckless driving, or racing on the highway, or under the influence of or impaired by alcohol or controlled substance? If you have to answer yes to any of those, but that's the most common one, you must include a disclosure statement. So it's anyone who's been convicted. And what does it mean to be convicted? It means that you plead guilty, plead no contest, you're granted deferred education, is required to attend classes, make contributions of time or money, receive treatment, submit to any manner of probation or supervision, or forego appeal of a trial court's conviction. Down here it says, a conviction of more than one offense at a single trial will be considered to be multiple convictions. Expunged convictions must be reported unless the expungement was based upon a showing that the court's earlier conviction was in error. So let's go down here and start the form. And I just want to add here that this form is a little bit scary for people, maybe a little bit nerve-wracking for people that have convictions. And just fill it out to the best of your knowledge and recollection, and you should be doing all right. Unless it's, what they're going to say when I call the Coast Guard is that it's up to the evaluator to make his or her decision based on the convictions and then get back to the student. So if you're really worried about disclosing your convictions to the Coast Guard and think that they might not let you get a license, you can try this method I'm about to describe. Instead of taking the course first and spending money to take a USCG approved course, fill out your entire application packet, send it into the Coast Guard, and they'll tell you you do not qualify for a license because of your conviction. Or they'll tell you, all right, we think you're good to go, so now take an approved course or go test at a regional exam center and we will send you a license. So if you're worried about this conviction and wasting money on a course because you don't qualify anyways, then fill your entire application packet out first, send it to the Coast Guard, and then they'll tell you if you're approved or not pending the course. So down here, let's look at the very top is dangerous drug use, if any. And what this is about, if we look back at the application, convictions and drug use. So here's part A. Have you ever been a user of or addicted to a dangerous drug, including marijuana, within the last 10 years? If you answer yes to that one, then you're looking at this top part, dangerous drug use detail, if any, the type of drug, and the month and year of last use. And now your convictions, you'll put what you're convicted of, the city where the conviction took place, the state, and the date. I mean, if this was 15 years ago and you're having a hard time remembering the date, just go back in your memory and work as hard as you can to get the closest date. Just use your best recollection here. And then you're probably found guilty, right? They have some examples here. Or I plead no contest, I pled guilty. And then the court sentence and requirements. So I was convicted of a DUI. They took my driver's license for 3 months. And then it was, what do you call it? And then it was restricted for a year. And then I got it back and I did my community service and I took my courses. and leave it at that. And then down here, you'll say what happened. So what happened and did you comply with? Are you in compliance with the court order? So down here, you'll say, I complied with everything. I paid all my fines. I did all my community service and courses. And now I have my driver's license back and I'm good to go. And so this will get a little bit more complicated if your DUI was very recent. If your DUI was very recent and your driver's license is still suspended, revoked, or or restricted, then you might be getting into some situations. You want your full driver's license to be back. They'll have 2 spaces for these convictions for you to write these. And if you have more than 2 that you need to write, you can attach additional sheets. Just keep printing this page, attaching sheets and filling them in, and then signing the bottom here. You have to sign and date that this is all true. You can see here, I acknowledge that I have read and understand the definition of conviction in the instructions, and I certify that the information on this disclosure statement for narcotics, DWI and DUI, and other convictions form is true and correct. And that should wrap up the conviction statement. I know this can be a lot to handle if you have a lot of convictions in your past and you're over that part of your life, but just fill it out to the best of your knowledge. And the Coast Guard deals with this all the time. You should be fine.